Hello, I'm back. This is Rachel Olson in Barichara, Colombia, and I'm picking up where I left off. This is our second walk together on the path to the Bioparque Moncora. I've taken a little tiny detour from the usual path because I want to show you something. I climbed the hill, caught my breath, and we have now entered into the second part of the walk, which I call Via de Estados, or the Way of the Estates. And I'm going to flip the camera around so you can see the view that I'm seeing. Okay, so we are at the top of the hill, and as you can see in the distance there, maybe I can enlarge it a little bit, there are, well, first of all, this is it's $1 million view. And I mean that somewhat literally because, Barichara is a destination for tourists. It's a historic place and it's a beautiful place. And it's been going on for a while now, but since COVID, there is just a land rush here. People wanting to get out of Bogota, get out of the cities, people who have money, who are buying up land rapidly and building these beautiful, mountain view homes. And now some of the people who have bought land here are very wealthy, and they get it. They are very conscientious about the needs of the land, but that isn't always the case. And what we find is that there are many people who don't see the land as anything more than property, real estate, money, investment. And there's a lot of greed. And what happens is that when a parcel of land goes up for sale, often in order to signal to the world that it is for sale, is they clear cut it. They just cut down everything. And those of us who know anything at all about land management know that that's probably the worst thing you can do for the soil, for water retention and everything that the land actually needs. I'm going to flip around again and start walking back. So all around me here are beautiful, elegant properties of people who have money. Many of them are very good neighbors, but unfortunately that is not universally true. And it just brings to mind to me that this is a core regenerative issue, this transition from our civilization, our culture's focus on land as something to own, something to exploit, something to, quite frankly, enslave and extract from. And then this shift of trying to go back to what is probably a much older, and I think in many cases what you find in indigenous communities, this idea that the land doesn't belong to us, we belong to the land, that it's a partnership, that it's a divine partnership, that we're here to fulfill a specific purpose. And that's to care for the land, to steward the land, to make the land be healthy and prosperous so that we can be healthy and prosperous, and that separation is really the cause of the collapse of everything that is threatening us as a species. And so that's part of the work here. It's not just the planting of the trees and all of that actual on-the-ground work, but it's embodying this shift back to a different way of understanding what land is, what the earth is, and what our role in that is. And to live that out loud so that hopefully others will see it as well and make that connection and make that shift. It's not going to be an easy thing to do, but that is part of our mission. That is part of our purpose here. It's why Joe has been so Joe Brewer's been so adamant about working with those folks who have this understanding and who have the means to help us purchase land, not to own it, but to create spaces for regenerative life to happen, to create spaces for people to come and learn this different way of being and to practice this way of being. And so that, people who aren't going to be here in Barichara or aren't going to stay here can take this back to wherever they are and begin embodying that in whatever way that they are able to, and then weave that into the culture of wherever they are, reminding people that the changes that we want to see in the environment happen in us first. Anyway, I think that's a long enough sermon for today, don't you? But just to say that this is part of the walk, part of something I think about when I am making my way from Margaritas to the Bioparque, and recognizing that this is the work I do on myself, and hope that wherever you are, this is something that touches your heart and your soul and motivates you to connect in this way as well. So anyway, that's today. Next walk, we're going to take the path to that I call the butterfly walk, which is one of my favorites. So stay tuned for that. Until then, thank you and blessings, and see you soon.